I'm so stressed out. It's just annoying because it's like I finally found a team that I like. Finally found the practice area that I like. And it's just like not possible for me to qualify in it. I've just been stressed about this for like weeks, and like finally like hearing that is just not the best news.
Hey everyone, I hope you're well. Sorry for the dramatics of that first clip that you've seen there. This journey over the last few months, it was a lot. So, just to summarize where I was at with my journey, I was in my fourth seat of my training contract. I'd realised that I wanted to qualify into commercial. I really liked that area of law. I liked the fact that there's an element of understanding business, understanding client relationships more. That's what I felt from my personal experience anyway. I felt like being an entrepreneur, that kind of trait of having business sense is something that I felt was encouraged. I think maybe potentially I maybe realised too late in the game that this is what I was interested in, and luck and timing just was not in my favour. I wanted to stay on at the firm that I was at, but there were no roles available. They just didn't really have the capacity on a junior scale to hire another commercial NQ. So that left me with the option of either considering another practice area or going to another firm. And we tried to figure out some options, but none of them really worked out for me internally. And I didn't want to sacrifice in the area of law that I started liking and I wanted to qualify in. And that's when I started looking elsewhere. So this whole thing was on my mind for months, and I think that's why I felt like I was a bit quiet about it on social media, because I was just navigating my way through it. I didn't know what the hell I was even doing. In all honesty, I didn't anticipate that I'd be leaving my firm after 2 years of training there. I thought I would have stayed on for a bit longer. But at the end of the day, this decision and what happened wasn't anyone's fault. It was just business need, and it was just down to timing and luck, which at that time just wasn't in my favour. And that's okay, these things happen. But a lot of self-doubt started creeping in, and it's something that I'm still dealing with at the moment. I started getting thoughts in my mind of, well, if you were a really, really amazing trainee sim, wouldn't the firm fight tooth and nail to keep you? And I'd have all these kind of thoughts, and it was like, well, maybe I'm not good enough. I really, really, I think, shattered my own confidence. Shattered is a bit of a dramatic word, but I'm still recovering, because I think I was so kind of... It was just tough. Like, when things don't go to plan, I think sometimes that allows intrusive thoughts to fester and accumulate in your mind. I was applying for jobs when I was not even confident in myself. I'd really, really lost my self-confidence during this whole process, because it wasn't even anything that anyone said. It was my own thoughts. I was the drama, I was the problem. The way I spoke to myself over the last few months, it was like, Sim, you know, is every single thing, even if I made a little mistake at work, I'd be like, this is the reason why the firm's not keeping you in. And it would just be like, why are you being so mean to yourself? A lot of people have realised that this is one of the lowest points I've had in my career. Yeah. Obviously, I was going through a bit of a personal battle. And then on top of that, the job market, I'm not going to lie, guys, in the commercial market for NQs, tough.
I'm looking at roles, there's nothing, there's no commercial out there. I'm like speaking to recruiters, I think they're going to have to like try and leverage their contacts to try and get me a role, basically, because there's no vacancies. Like, I could be unemployed in 2 months.
Ignore the mess of my face. I look like Lord Farquaad, bro. It's 22nd of February. Just put in my admissions date, and it sucks because I looked at that and it said, congratulations, you've been admitted to the role of solicitors on the 8th of March, but I literally don't feel like celebrating because I don't have a job. I just feel sick about the uncertainty. Like, I literally have no idea what I'm going to do next.
There was barely anything going. Mainly it was in-house roles, which I didn't mind, but I wanted more private practice experience. The only roles that I felt were available in the commercial law space was for those who were 4-5 plus PQE. What PQE means is post-qualification experience. So they'd been qualified for 4 or 5 years, which obviously I'm an NQ, newly qualified. I don't have that. But then This firm came along, very, very different to what I was expecting. Very different. They are a new firm and they advise fintech startups, they advise entrepreneurs, basically businesses from seed to finish. And for someone like me who's really, really interested in business, I think one day I would want to start my own business. I don't know what yet, but I'll want to do something in business. And I think this is a great way of doing it. And also it would give me a bit more experience in the fintech sphere. So that is an opportunity that came up. And the more I read about this firm, the more I was like, you know what, I think their culture definitely aligns to me. You can tell sometimes from the application process, from the questions that you are asked, that they actually want to get to know you as a person. So for this role, there was quite a few stages. I submitted my CV, so that was kind of stage 1. Stage 2 was doing a video interview. Stage 3 was reviewing an agreement and providing comments. So in the agreement, there may have been typos, formatting issues, provisions that were missing. So I was reviewing that, which is a common thing that you do in the commercial role. And then I had quite a few interviews with different members of the team. And from there, basically, long story short, spoiler, you've already probably seen the announcement anyway, but I got the role. The funny thing is, I got the role on the same day I qualified. I qualified on the 8th of March and I woke up and I just thought, I'm just an unemployed NQ.
First day as a solicitor and I'm unemployed. We love that. Love that for me.
I felt so bad on the day I qualified in the morning because I was like, I'd worked so hard and I've not even got a job, And it wasn't through anyone's fault. It was just the situation. It was just the way it was. And then I got the email at 1 p.m. around that time saying, you've got the job. And I thought, thank God. But even after that, right, I was really, really happy I got the role. But even then, the thoughts started creeping in, the imposter syndrome. I kept telling myself I fluked it. I must have fluked it. I don't know what they saw. I felt like I blagged my way. Like I felt like, I don't know why, everything I said in the interview and everything I said and I did was absolutely true and factual. But for some reason I looked at myself and I thought, I don't think you're good enough. And it just sucked because the whole day of qualification I kind of spent just like on this journey of kind of negativity. And I was like, what have I just kept questioning everything I'd done. I found a role that I think is suited to me, and I didn't even know that roles like this existed in a firm like this, because the structure of this firm, I feel like the one that I've joined now, is very unique in that they incorporate both private practice and in-house within, so you kind of get the best of both worlds. And if I hadn't been in this situation where I'd have to look elsewhere, I don't think I would have even known that these options or these kind of firms were available. For the last few weeks, like I mentioned, I have been going through a bit of a personal battle, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of confidence that has been knocked. And last night, I think my confidence was a little bit restored when I got the best use of legal social media on Legal Cheek. Even then, during the award ceremony, I was holding the award and the thoughts started coming in. It was like, come on, Sim, this is a fluke. You didn't deserve this. But then I was like, hold on, no, this narrative needs to change, like right now, because I'm done with putting myself down for my achievements. I've qualified, got a new job, and won an award all in the space of a month, and I'm just done with kind of just putting myself down about it. Like, it is something to celebrate and it is something to recognise as an achievement. Bad bees have tough times, but we always bounce back. And I think this is my bounce back now. Mentally, personally, I'm bouncing back. I think in the future, I'd look back and I'd be like, why didn't I celebrate that? Why didn't I pat myself on the back mentally and physically and personally, and be there like, you did this. I think the main message I want to convey is change is tough. When something happens that doesn't go according to your plan, it can affect you a lot. It can make you doubt yourself because you were set on this path and suddenly it doesn't go the way you wanted and you start overthinking everything. I definitely went down that tunnel and I think I'm still figuring out how to not ever be in that tunnel. But sometimes if you do ever get into that kind of space, that dark space where you're like putting yourself down over everything, then I think having that self-awareness and reflection of, okay, this is what I'm doing to myself. No one's saying this to me. I'm being mean to myself, and just trying to bring yourself out of that and looking at your achievement saying, you know what, I did that. A whole associate. Anyway, what's next for me? I've got time off until April. I requested that I had to have a whole of March off to basically freshen and just come back with a fresher perspective on working, on building my confidence, and yeah, just using this time to just chill and having a good time. I'm going skiing next week, so that'll be fun. The NQ process is tough. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I don't think it's as tough as gaining a training contract from my experience. I mean, a lot of people did tell me, look, once you're an NQ, everyone will fight for you, everyone will give you a job. But in this current market, a lot of economical factors played a part in why I struggled as well. Covey lives, I can't believe I said that. Covey lives this cost of living crisis, guys. But I'm really rambling here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being on this journey with me. I remember making a video of like 12 days before I start my training contract, and now I'm here talking about being an NQ, being an associate. I'm gonna get going because I'm literally rambling so much. But thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.